Hello YouTube, this is your host Christopher with Tugaluna Outdoors, and today I'll be teaching y'all how to tie a float rig. So hopefully y'all do stick around and enjoy the video. So now you're probably wondering, well, where will I use it, why should I use it, and if I do use it, what are the benefits of using this? So first and foremost, where you would want to use this is when you're having very, very high current, either from the wind or just the water's moving rather fast. So why I use it is because it limits the jerkiness of the bait. Meaning this is when you're in rough water, your line tends to move a lot, which makes your bait want to move. Now, with using this rig, the benefit of it is when you're anchored on a structure. So let's say that there's a log down or something like that, and you're anchored on it. If you put your boat to where the downslope is that's coming down, then one, you kind of give yourself a barrier if you're casting into that structure, like a sand barge, a fallen tree, or just a pit or next to a rock wall. What this does, as long as there's a downward slope, it gives you that little bit of advantage from your boat. When you cast it out, it's gonna keep your line even more firm. Would be probably the most proper word I could say, and limit as much jerkiness as possible. So these are just some very small reasons on why you should rig it up. Now, on level of difficulty of rigging this, it's not very difficult to rig. I'll tell you what y'all need here in just a second when it's time for us to start building this rig. Alright, so what you will need first and foremost obviously is your main line, which for demonstration purposes as always is our green line. Next you will need your leader line, which is orange. You're going to need 2 of these for this video and for this rig. So obviously we got our 2 orange, which is 40 pound. You want to try to keep your leader line between 40 and 50 pounds on this rig especially. Next we have our hook, which is a 3/0 circle hook. A weight of your choice, we have a pyramid weight, which is what I'm going to be using personally, and then this is a bank sinker weight. If you want to prefer to use it, use whatever weight you want to use. Next is a 3-way swivel and a peg float. So now the reason you need the peg float is because you don't want your main line to run into your your hook, and also to keep the bait off the ground. So now that you know what you're going to need, let's get the process started of hook rigging it up. So obviously first things first is you want to take your main line, you want to get your peg float, and you want to go ahead. This time it doesn't really matter how far away you want to put your peg float. Obviously don't put it like 3 foot away from it. Try to keep it rather close. Say it's probably about 10 inches, 11 inches away from it. Next, you want to get your 3-way swivel. Obviously tie it on. And as always, this is not I recommend y'all to use while catfishing. Use a lot stronger of a knot. Don't fight me. So now from this point on, you can go either way you would choose to. So you can go ahead and either rig your hook up, followed by your weight, or weight and then hook. For me, I'm going to go ahead and do the weight. So go ahead and tie your weight. Like I said, do not use this knot in actual catfishing. I recommend a lot stronger of a knot. The length of the leader line that you put on your weight is depending on how you feel and approximately how deep you think the water is, because that will help determine where the catfish are more than likely. So as before, go ahead and tie it on. Nothing special, for demonstration purposes. Yeah, see, if I want, I can easily pull that off. We'll just go ahead and trim these up to make it look nice. Alright, so now that you've got your main line and your weight, this is the part where it is rather important. So the hook obviously is your preferred hook. If you want to use a regular bass hook, then that's fine. Obviously I would recommend a circle hook. That's my preferred favorite, and a lot of other anglers' favorite. The thing about it though is you want to keep this line between, I'd say probably 2 to 5 inches probably. That's after that it's kind of like you don't want it that long, because with this rig you're trying to keep your hook off the bottom, and if you have too long of line and you're using, I don't know, shad on the hook area, once again just tying a simple knot. If you use shad on this, what will happen is if your line's too long, let's say this is how it looks with the 2 to 4 inch line, the knot would be about here. So this is the bottom, this is it going up from the bobber. That way your hook is dangling right around through here. Obviously this will vary depending on what bait you use, how long you make this line compared to this hook, and what kind of water you're fishing in. If you're fishing in still water, then more than likely your rig will turn up vertically, so like this, and then once again your weight or your hook will be somewhere around there. Or if you're on a boat and you have bad current where you're like this, once again. So I recommend you not take it really any further. Like the absolute max I would go would probably be 5 or 6 inches, and 6 is still pushing it at that point. So we're just going to go ahead and tie this hook up, and obviously the closer your bobber is to your swivel, then that's going to help help also change the angle of your hook as well, keeping it higher up or lower down. Trying to clip this up, make it look a little bit nicer. So once again, it'll probably ride somewhere around this, the look of this. I'll adjust y'all real fast so y'all hopefully can see it all. So roughly around this. So I have a short announcement that I'm going to make after this. So that is the finished product. If you want to keep this just like a regular just rig where you can just go ahead and hook it up, then I would recommend putting a barrel swivel up here. That way you can just cut it and you have a pre-rigged rig. So I will see you in a second when I tell you all this announcement. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so the previous video, if y'all was able to see it, was a slip sinker rig. After doing some review throughout the channel, I guess I forgot that I've already done a slip sinker rig. I was going to make this a Carolina rig video, but after doing research and looking at the two comparison, the slip sinker rig and the Carolina rig are almost identical in every way. So you could use the slip sinker rig as a Carolina rig. Some people may consider it the same. Growing up, I always considered them different. That's just how I was raised up. But the video, or the next video that's coming out, is going to be a pole, or I shouldn't say a pole review. I'm going to show y'all one of my newer rigs that I've got, and then the video after that is either going to be a hunting video based around hunting, or a product review of the Cabela's catfishing pole that y'all have seen me use in my Barren River video. So keep an eye out for the rig review, or gear review, I'll call them, meaning my new gear. That is a pretty cheap-ish way to get a nice setup, and then the Cabela's reviewed one. So hopefully y'all did enjoy this video. If y'all did, make sure y'all do press that like button down below. Thank y'all for the support we've been getting on the channel. It does mean a lot, especially since we started it 3 months ago, 4 months ago. So we're not that old to the YouTube channel. Well, we are, because we've both been in YouTube, like doing YouTube channels for a while, but this channel's still pretty new. So I just want to take this moment to thank y'all, and hopefully y'all do come back and stick around, and make sure y'all subscribe if you are new. So we will see y'all in the next video.